Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, which feels very weird to say because I haven't filmed a YouTube video in forever, in months, but welcome back. I'm back with you with a very exciting, funny, but very important video. Today, as you can tell by the title and thumbnail, me and my mum are going to be doing the Stand Up to Cancer Bake Off challenge. A couple months ago on Instagram, Stand Up to Cancer and Cancer Research posted baking kits that people could get for free. They gave some tips and tricks on how you could help raise money for cancer research. And one of the ideas that they suggested was to do your own sort of technical challenge at home. And I mentioned this sort of kit to my mum and the idea of it, and both of us really loved the idea, and we both wanted to do something for charity this year. We both thought this was going to be a great idea. We signed up to it, we got the kit, and that is what we were going to be doing today. Neither of us are professionals. We just enjoy it. Good fun and laugh. Nothing too serious. As you can see, I'm not in a tent like the Great British Bake Off is usually in. I'm in a kitchen, and obviously our kitchen's quite small, so we're only going to bake one at a time. We flipped a coin just off camera, and my mum is going to bake first. We're both going to bake the same recipe, put it up on screen. We're going to be baking Prue's Stand Up to Cancer Swiss roll. We've got our followers to pick what they would like to see us bake for this technical challenge, and this recipe won. So that is what we're both going to be baking today. And if you would like to learn out more about donate money or more about Stand Up to Cancer and cancer research and everything they do, all the information will be linked in the description box and all the given pages and stuff like that. Chill out, have a cup of tea, or if you're living in the UK right now, have a cold drink because we've got some very warm weather at the moment. So grab a nice drink, chill out and have a good laugh at us. We hope you enjoy.
Guys, right, making a start. I've got the recipe. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, for the sponge, so I've got the oven on. That's warming up, and I've got to grease and line our Swiss roll tin with baking parchment. So I'm just going to do that first. So how are you all coping in this heat?
Yeah, some lovely but kind of sweaty warm weather at the moment.
Typical England, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll show you when I've done it because I know you can't see me, all you can see is my face. Now, I've never ever cooked a Swiss roll. I never wanted to cook a Swiss roll. Afris do it quite well with their mini rolls. There's my line. So I've put greaseproof paper or silicone paper on the bottom, and I've put fat on the bottom, and then just put a little bit on the top. Like I say, I'm presuming it's got to be quite well greased, but it is. I did get silicone paper, which is meant to be makes it less sticky. So I'm hoping then the things won't stick. It says crack the eggs and caster sugar into a large bowl and whisk until the mixture is thick and light and frothy and leaves a trail when the whisk is removed. This is known as a ribbon stain. Okay, so 4 eggs. I've cracked 3, just doing the 4th.
And she's not telling you, she cracked some of the shell into the bowl.
Thank you. Kids, see? Absolutely. So there's 4. Look, beautifully done. Look, eggs and the caster sugar. So caster sugar, we need 100 grams. Got some scales all set up here. I've got to whisk it. Now, I have got an electric whisk upstairs, one of those big blendery things. Yeah, trying to find somewhere to get it in this kitchen and everything is a bit tricky. So me and Georgina decided just to, as long as we're both not got any appliances, then we're just gonna build some muscle.
We've made it as fair as possible, everyone.
Yeah. And I know you might think, well, Georgina's watching me, so she's gonna have some tips. Even if you watch each other, you all know that you do things slightly differently. To a large bowl until it's thick, light and frothy and leaves a ribbon trail.
For actual mixing. Asked on my Instagram and Facebook, so our followers and friends and family, for some questions. We bake, and as my mum is mixing, I thought this would be a good time to ask all your questions.
Okay.
Oh, the first question a lot of people ask is just how we're doing. How have we been recently?
We're actually doing okay.
We're doing good, yeah, not too bad. And like we said, we've been enjoying the warmer weather.
Yeah, we both prefer the warm weather.
Oh yeah, we both of us get cold very easily.
Yeah.
We do not like the cold,
No.
but yeah, it's been very lovely over here in the UK, if you know. Both been really good, so thank you for asking.
Yeah.
How did we get into baking and stuff like that?
I always remember way back when baking with my grandparents, my grandma. She was a really good pastry chef, like, you know, used to do jam tarts, mince pies, the classics, you know, or, you know, making a chicken pie, and she was really good at baking. And so have I watched her doing cooking and baking and that, so not a massive amount of baking. I used to just enjoy watching her cook and helping, like, you know, chopping onions and things like that. So that's where I sort of learnt. Really.
Your love of baking kind of grew?
Yeah, I love doing pastry. I like you know, but nowadays I suppose because you can buy pastry so much cheaper and it's done for you, I haven't done it for years, and I can't remember the last time I made a cake. I don't make cakes really, do I?
No, I'm more the cake person.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, my love of baking and how I learned was actually from my mum and my older sister, Isabel. Because again, I used to watch. I remember baking quite a lot when we were kids, especially me and Isabel. So I didn't really like bake much. I just watched it again and helped obviously clean all the bits by licking the bowl, like any kids normally do. And I definitely prefer baking cakes than like pastry. I don't think I've actually ever baked anything like pastry-wise. I've always done like cakes and stuff like that. My love of baking sort of grew from a family, which is how I think most people sort of learn by watching their family and loved ones.
Something you can do together, isn't it? And then
and both of us definitely prefer baking and cooking as well.
Yeah.
Like I'm not bothered by like cooking normal meals and food, but I really enjoy baking.
That's what Paul does.
He's going to be our judge for today,
Yes,
actually.
he is. It's a hard task for him, I'm sure.
Yes.
Eating cake.
Yes. I don't know how great they're going to look or how they're going to taste.
But he's quite good. I think he'll be a good judge because he'll be honest without being cruel.
Yeah.
But he will be honest, and if it tastes a bit rubbish, he will say it tastes a bit rubbish.
Yeah, so you know who's going to win today is like a fair winner.
Yeah, and he's not going to know. We're going to do it like the Bake Off, so it'll just have number 1 and number 2. So Georgina and I, well, obviously we know anyway.
Yeah.
And he won't have a clue. He's not coming downstairs at all or seeing. I mean, he's popped in now, but I'm just whisking it. You know, but he's not going to know
who's baked what
and not see any of the stages. So it's as fair as
we can make it.
It's changing colour, guys. It's just changing to a lighter colour. This is quite hard work on the arms, I must say. No need to go to the gym today. No, I don't go any day, but
and if you can hear, by the way, any like noise, like our dog is right below us in her cage. Obviously, like I said at the start, we're filming in our kitchen, so this is our family home. Obviously, we have a cat, we have many cats, and we have a dog. So yeah, we're not filming in a tent like the Great British Bake Off.
We haven't got all the, you know, the amenities. No. My arm is now hurting quite a bit, but I'm finally seeing we are getting somewhere.
Yeah,
definitely. Sort of it's doubled in size, like the volume, and it is a little frothy, light. So we've got the lightness and we've got the frothiness. It's just not thick and ribbon stuff. I can see that I am getting somewhere. This is when I wish I had used the electric whisk, and Georgina's got all this to come.
Yeah, can't wait.
Okay, so I've been whisking away here. Thankfully, Georgina stopped recording for a moment just so I could rest my arm. And I'm near enough happy with this. I mean, I don't know, probably a little bit runny, but I'm going to go for it. So it's lighter, it's frothier. Step: divide the mixture into 2 bowls. Whisk some orange food colouring into one of the bowls until mixture is bright orange. Then whisk some black food colouring into the other bowl until the mixture is jet black. That's their picture, just saying that's how it should look.
I'll also put a picture on screen as well, just in case you can't see that clearly.
So just so you've got an idea of this is what we're trying to achieve. And of course it's going to look exactly like that. Both of ours are going to be amazing. Half. It doesn't say you can measure it, so I'm not going to for it. I think that might be. So I'm just going to guess it. Whisk in some orange food colouring. Got some black and orange.
And for the people that are wondering why the Swiss roll is black and orange, sorry, it's because obviously for the Stand Up to Cancer logo, it's black and orange.
Yeah.
And obviously because this is all for charity, we're sticking to the theme and making our Swiss roll black and orange, of course.
And I would say go on their website, Stand Up to Cancer. They're brilliant. You know, there's so many ideas to do. But even if you just want to donate, please donate.
All the information you need will all be in the description below.
Yeah. Just added, and this is quite concentrated food colouring. So I'm hoping it gives us a really nice orange.
That is nice.
So I'm just going to try, and I know you can't see it very well, guys. I know a lot of you don't do YouTube as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to be.
We're going to cater to all our social media platforms.
We are indeed. So
and again, all our social media platforms. If you want to follow either of us, they'll again also all be linked in the description box as well. So if you do want to support any of us, then click on those links.
You can tell she does this for a job, can't you? Not unlike me. This was the most terrifying bit, being on here.
Yeah.
For
Yes.
me, anyway.
All be kind, because my mum is actually my first guest on any of my social media platforms. I don't think I've ever had anyone on any of them, so I hope you're giving my mum a lovely warm welcome, especially as she's the first one baking as well, you know. I feel like that's quite a lot of pressure.
I just wanted to get it done.
To be honest, I was about to say, when we flipped the coin, my mum chose to go first, and I thought that's good because I wanted to go second anyway.
I did some black food colouring, but as you can see, it's grey. So I'm going to add some more because that's we want it black. It's meant to be black, not grey, and that doesn't look very appetising in the grey. I'll have to make the decision: is it black enough, or should I add some more? Because I've not used this food colouring before, or I'm not sure if you really get a true black, or if this is as black as it's going to be. We'll find out. I think I'm going to add a little bit more. We want everybody to know this is Stand Up to Cancer.
Indeed. Hope you like our bunting as well, by the way, in the background.
Yeah.
Obviously the Stand Up to Cancer came with, bunting came in the kit, so my mum printed it off and we cut them out. And then I don't know if you can see it on camera or not. If not, you kind of can on the fridge. Yeah, we've got some Jubilee sort of flags that we had from the Queen's platinum Jubilee, wasn't it?
Yeah, good old Queenie.
Yeah, so we thought, we'll use them both.
I'm happy with my orange and my black, even though when it does sort of look a bit grey, but I'm going to go with that. Okay, so I've just weighed 100 grams of self-raising flour. Got all that's all done. I've got to sift half of the 50 gram of the flour over the orange, and then half into the black. My sieve. Now I need 50 grams, so I'm just gonna guess. I know I could get the scales and get another container, which I maybe do, but then I didn't measure my liquids either, so hey. So I'm just gonna guess. I'm sorry. Life is too short to worry about things like that. So I'm just sort of guessing. I must say I'm not very good when it comes to guessing things like this. So carefully fold in using a large metal spoon or rubber spatula. We have a rubber spatula, so we're going to go for the rubber spatula option. And then just fold it in. So we're going to fold. So I am folding at the moment, and this is probably where I realise my mixture should have been whisked more, possibly. But, you know.
I feel like this is another good time, as you're folding and mixing, for some more questions.
Yes.
This time, I feel like we should go down Stand Up to Cancer route, as we started off with baking. A lot of these questions came from you guys, which was very, very helpful. So thank you to everyone that
Definitely
gave us all sorts of questions. It was very, very handy. The main questions is, why did we agree to do this? And why are we doing this today?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you can do.
Oh, lots of reasons. Okay, my mum died from stomach cancer when I was 12. And I mean, I'm 54 now, so a long time ago. And you know, she found out 2 weeks before and literally died 2 weeks later. Couldn't do anything for her. And then my dad, just over 21 years ago, died from leukemia. So another form of cancer. I don't have any siblings, so it left me all on my own. But I suppose that my mum dying was not when you're at such a young age, and I want to try and do my part so nobody else has to go through that. It was horrendous, and if I can help donating some money and my time and they can find some more cures or better treatments, which we know they are all the time, then hey, I'm spending my morning doing this with Georgina anyway, which is lovely. You know, it's the least I can do. So for me, cancer has touched my life in so many ways, and I know probably one of Georgina's, you know, I've had friends die, as well as obviously family. I just don't want anybody to go through that if we can help it.
I had a very special, she was like a family friend called Tanya. A few of you will probably know the name.
Yeah.
Who passed away of breast cancer, didn't she?
Yes.
That was a good little while ago, and Tanya was always like another mum to me.
Yeah.
She helped groom me up because I stayed at theirs quite a lot when I was younger. And she was one of the main reasons when I saw this like kit that Stand Up to Cancer was doing. She was one of the main reasons that I was like, oh, I'd love to do something like that. And I've had a few family members recently all pass of different forms of cancer. And like you say, like I agree with my mum, you know, it's never nice, no matter what age and how that person's related to you, whether they're a friend, a distant cousin, you know, it's never easy finding out someone you love or care about has cancer. Us filming this video, taking pictures, raising money for a good cause, if that is what we can do to help the research and the knowledge of cancer, you know, I would do this again in a heartbeat, to be honest. Yeah. It's such an important cause, and we get to enjoy, have a laugh, do some baking, and entertain you guys as well.
So just mix the flour into the orange and into the black, which looks more like a dark grey, I must say, but hey, I'm going with it. So I folded that in, and the spatula worked well. I like the spatula, that worked well, and it's not very lumpy. So I've got those both done and ready. Oh God, God help me. Okay, now you have to put the orange in one piping bag, the black in another piping bag. So I'm going to be doing that.
And neither of us have piped anything or used piping bags before.
No, never.
In all our time of baking.
never, you know.
I've only tried once and it was a mess.
So it just says spoon it into disposable piping bags, and I've got some disposable piping bags. Very messy, but I do think my mixture is a bit random.
Lovely colour. I quite like the orange.
It's very nice orange, isn't it? Mine's quite peachy orange, I must say. But it'd be interesting to see when it's cooked what sort of colour whether it's strengthens the colour or not. For all those bakers out there, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like I said, we just enjoy baking. We're not professionals in any way, shape or form. Some of the girls from work said, oh, you have to bring some in. They probably will not be saying that. No. When they see the final results.
That's my orange. Okay? And you have to get them both ready, because you then get your piping, your tray, and you do orange, black from just reading ahead. So you have to tie the end. God, this is messy. It has thickened up actually. I'm surprised. It's definitely like the ribbon, like it says. So maybe I'm on the right track. And then same process, but with the black. So, or the dark grey. Getting a little bit warm now because the oven is right behind me, and obviously you preheat your oven. So it's quite toasty. Yeah, my black is definitely a more thicker consistency than my orange. So I maybe had more flour in this one, but that's all right. So there's the black, and actually on camera it looks blacker than it does in real life, but might be fine. There's Stand Up to Cancer Bake Off.
Yeah, that we brought that apron. When we got the kit, they gave you some like suggestion things that you could buy, and the apron was one of them. And obviously, all the money goes to cancer research and everything like that. So I can't remember how much the apron was, but it wasn't much, was it?
It's about £10. But you might go, ooh,
Yeah.
but actually it's cotton,
Yeah.
and it's really thick, and it's a fantastic quality.
It's a really good quality.
You know, and it'll wash and wear and wash and wear, and
It's a good apron you've got for years.
Absolutely. So black food colouring on hands and on my nails, not good. Next bit. So we've got our piping bag, and I have got my tray. And you snip the end off of the orange, and then the black, and then you pipe orange, black, orange, black, orange, black along the thing. And with, you know, so I'm going to go for it. This is when I think it could get messy, because I think this is probably, the orange in particular is too liquid. So I'm going to have to watch it, because I think it's just going to come running out a little bit. So yeah, stripes, I'm not sure. So here we go. Yes. So yeah, it's meant to be stripes, but because the orange is just coming out, it's not stripes. Okay, right. Oh God. Now I'm going black. Oh, bloody hell. Oh God, it's not fair. This is hard. It's not going to be black and white stripes, guys. Oh God. Look, I'm sure it's going to taste amazing. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I'm trying to get all around the edge, because obviously I'm going to have to roll this eventually. So, oh God. Oh no. Right, let me see if I can get any more out of the orange. Oh, it's such a mess. Yeah. So, tip to you guys, make sure your mixture's thicker. Get it out of the oven. It said between 10 and 12. I've got a fan oven, pretty good, and it's been 10 minutes, and it says should be, let me tell you what it says. The sponge should be springy to the touch and starting to shrink away from the sides of the tin. Well, it's sort of springy to the touch. It is springy, I mean, it's cooked, and it has shrunk away from the sides of the tin. So what I'm going to do, try and show you, but obviously it's quite hot. So it's quite not bad shot, is it? You know, I'm on my tiptoes. Short person problems, as you all know. Next step is taking the sponge out of the tin and the rolling. So you have to take it out of the tin and put it on some parchment paper. So I've got some parchment paper on my work surface. We won't show you this bit, as it were, but when I come to roll it, Georgina obviously will show you that bit, because that's going to be the fun bit.
Gonna be the fun
So, so layer 2 sheets of parchment paper onto work surface, and as soon as it's cooked, carefully peel off the lining. It's not rolling quite yet, it's getting it out of the tin so it can cool and not stick into the tin. So I'm going to do that next. Flip it over. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Be brave, Sarah. And then the lining paper that it was cooked on, you have to peel off while it's hot. And this is when I now go, thank God I brought silicone paper, because I was umming and ahhing because it's a baking parchment, but I brought actually silicone baking paper, which actually is coming off lovely. I'm just taking it steady, no rushing.
It does look really good. Like none of that was stuck to the paper.
No,
then, guys.
it's like nice and clear,
Yeah.
and that was nice and
There you go,
easy.
there's your tip. Instead of baking parchment.
Silicone paper.
Silicone paper, there you go. A baking tip.
Yeah, silicone coated baking paper, and I just thought I'd go for that to try and help us as much as I can. Off of Amazon,
Off
of
of
course.
Amazon, like
Georgina
everything.
will pop the link for like the food colouring and everything. We got all of that off of Amazon. That was really good as well.
It was.
So then you put another piece, clean piece, on the other side. So you've got like a Swiss roll sandwich, and then it says you flip it over, so that the outside is then will be the inside. Because obviously in theory that's not so pretty looking. Again, this is like dicing with death, because I'm very happy with how it is looking at the moment. I don't like it. Okay, I mean, luckily it's not very big. There, she's done it. Quick step back. So I'm going to leave this to cool. Georgina will take some photos, I don't know, she thinks she's done, of how my stripy Swiss roll is looking. It's really not striping. Sponge is cooling. I've got the filling to do. So it's just jam and cream. So at the moment I'm whisking the cream, double cream, 200 ml. Now it does say use an electric whisk, and I kind of told you earlier, it ain't gonna happen. So I'm now doing this by hand. We've also got some jam, and we've got a nice jam. Now, if you ever look at this recipe, you'll see that part of the challenge or this is to make your own jam. And me and Georgina discussed it, and we decided to buy jam because this is enough of a technical challenge, we felt, don't you think, Georgina? Without making our own jam. And we want it to be fun as well. And we're having a real laugh doing this. We don't want it to be stressful. We want it, we've not done.
We mutually agreed not to make the jam and just crossed off those steps.
So they were the first 2 steps, which obviously we just didn't do. Like I say, doing this as we've never done it before.
No.
We
knew this was going to be a challenge.
Yeah. So we've got a jam that we'll both use. So, again, that's fair for taste when Paul comes to taste. So at the moment, like I say, I'm just whisking the cream. And I know cream doesn't take too long to do, not like that. So, and again, it's my decision, isn't it, when I decide thickness thing. So I'm whisking it so it gets soft peaks. And then we do the assembly bit, which, when we roll it.
I was going to say in the comments, put who you think is going to win this. I never said at the start. So in the comments now, put I'm Georgina and this is Sarah. So
that's unfair because I've seen how badly mine's gone. Sorry. Come on. We're quite competitive.
We are.
We're nice
together.
Yes, but we're quite we're really kind and supportive to each other.
Definitely.
But the things like this when we don't, we are quite competitive.
Very. So in the comments, who do you think is going to win this? Georgina or Sarah?
Now, I have more Instagram followers than Georgina. Only just.
She does.
Just. So come on, Instagram followers.
But this is my channel.
She won't even tag me in it. I don't know. I mean, I know you haven't baked yet.
No.
But I know what Georgina's skill level is, similar to mine, and it's similar to mine. And I just thought this is going to be all right. Actually, I think we could do this. But where I went wrong, and I know you could say, well, Georgina's seen where you've gone wrong, but she's still got to mix it. She's still got to do it and make those judgments herself, and and the colouring and everything, and it's really interesting. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
And then obviously for Paul, it's about the taste.
Yeah. I'm losing my voice.
Yeah. And it's not COVID.
No, it's not COVID.
Yeah.
I'm just losing my voice.
Now, just coming to the thing, it's not soft, but this is the ribbon phase, and I can just feel it now getting really stiff. So actually this, I did hope, because I did get thick double cream. Oh, there we go, look. And it changes, doesn't it? As we all know, I have whisked a lot of cream in my life. So that's done. Right, I'm going to see how cool it is. Now, it doesn't tell you on here at all how long to cool it for, and obviously that's part of your decision making, isn't it? And whether I leave it 5 minutes or 5 hours, which is going to be pretty boring for you, but I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see, because obviously if it's too warm, the cream's just going to melt. We all know about that. But because it is very thin, it's actually near enough cooled. I'm going to leave it probably 5 more minutes just so it is cool, because I'm conscious that I need it slightly warm to roll it. I'm thinking, because I've never done it, if it's too cold I think it's just going to crack, but obviously I've got to worry about my cream. So perhaps 5 minutes might be too. See, this is the thing, and this is what Georgina's going to have. You guys are like, oh, she's watching you. But she's going to have to make those decisions. Hers might feel hotter than mine. Hers might be thicker than mine. Who knows? So I think I'm going to give it a go, because there's a trimming stage as well. Perhaps Georgina will do it from a different angle so she can.
Yeah. So you can fully see what's going on.
Going wrong. So got a sharp knife. and it says tidy up the edges, because obviously you want it to look professional. So, I mean, it is quite a small, so I'm just gonna do that there. And actually mine's not too bad shape wise. I'm quite happy. Don't know what you think, Georgina, with the shape.
I think it's pretty good.
Now I'm gonna taste it. Now I am, guys, gluten-free and dairy-free, so yes. I can't eat this. I know you just said, oh, you've eaten some of it now, but it's a tiny bit. Yeah, my mum isn't like allergic to gluten or dairy, she just has a bit of intolerance. Yeah, just to taste it. Okay. I'll reserve judgment on that. So I'm happy with the trimming. I'm not going to trim too much off, because that corner, if I cut that off, I think it's going to get too tiny. So I've took off what I want, and then it says score a line across the sponge 2 centimeters in from one of the short edges. So I'm going to do it this end, because I'm going to roll that way, because I'm going to stand at the end of the bench. So I'm going to score my line there, like that. Okay. Then spread the jam evenly over the sponge, and then spread an even layer of cream. So we've got my jam, I've already just opened it, and this is just a good strawberry jam we've gone for. I think I'm just going to use the back of the spoon. That seems to be working. Now, to be honest, that sponge to me at the moment, just a sponge, and I'm going to be honest, for me it tastes a bit bland. It's not very sweet. It's okay, but
just weird because it smells really nice.
It smells good, but then you've got the jam and the cream to go in it. Yeah, true. Now maybe that then lifts that sweetness. The taste of it, yeah. So maybe that's why it's not very sweet. I'm not, you know, obviously I've never cooked one of these before, but for me it was just like, oh, it was okay. It is, but nothing wowie. No, it is quite intense, because I don't think I whisk it enough. But when you like took a bit off, you could tell how sort of it's springy, it's spongy. Yeah. So I'm happy with that amount of jam. Again, it doesn't tell you how much jam, so you've got to make those decisions. So again, which is part of the fun. And then my cream is quite thick. I haven't over whipped it, I know, because it hasn't split. So it's a nice, so it's quite a lot of cream. Now I do think, because again my mixture was quite runny, it's possibly not quite as big, because it did shrink away from the edges quite a lot. Now it does tell you how much cream is 200 ml. So we'll see. I'm just trying to concentrate, and there's still quite a bit in there. Let's get a bit more. So it's like, how close to the edges do you go? You know, do you go right up, or do you do a gap? Because obviously I know it's going to squidge out, but you don't want a bit with no cream or jam, do you? That'd be really disappointing. To all my friends at work, if you watch this vlog, I won't be bringing any cake in on a Friday, like John in particular, who does these amazing things, concoctions. He brings in, they're fantastic. No, you're never gonna taste this. You can just watch. Yeah. And then you can be like, yeah, I'm glad Sarah didn't bring it in. So use most of the cream now. I'm happy with that amount. I think that's, for me, a good cream jam sponge ratio. So, and the last bit is roll up the Swiss roll firmly, starting at the scored end and using the paper to help you. This is going to be the fun part. So this is the fun part. This is the bit we all watch when we're watching the Bake Off, and we're going, oh, why are you doing it like that? So I'm coming to the end of the bench. This is the end I scored. And obviously I'm going to use the paper. So I'm going to, well, I'm not. I'm going to use my fingers. So, God, this is so much harder than it looks. Like, you know, when you're just like, why are people struggling? Yeah. You really don't know until you've made it yourself. No, I'm going quite tight, and I do realise that a lot of it's going to come out the end, but I'm following what they say, and I want it not to unroll. And you know what? It hasn't cracked. It looks, on the end, looks like a Swiss roll. And there we go. So I'm happy with that. So really that's that. Now on their picture, they've piped some across the top, which would mean more mixing and that, but I'm not going to do that. There we go. So
amazing.
It's come out, but
I think that looks really good.
And there is a stripe there and a bit there, but it is mostly orange.
It's black and orange, you know. Stand up to cancer.
Yeah.
It's got the colours
there.
So
there's my one. I'm just going to pop it on a plate, and then we'll show you at the end perhaps the two together then.
Yeah.
But, Georgina will take some photos as well. But there's my Stand Up to Cancer Swiss roll. I've had such fun doing it. I'm not sure how it's going to taste. I know it looks a bit odd, but I've had such fun, and please donate. We you know, they really need all
appreciate it. This is Alexi's story. At just 26, Alexi had already been through a lifetime of worry, but now she's coming out the other side. While giving birth to her son, Alexi suffered heart failure. As she underwent a heart transplant, her son fell ill and needed a liver transplant. And as she struggled to cope with this, in 2018, Alexi was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. Alexi said, "I was in shock. I just felt I had gone through all that. My transplant, my son's transplant, and now I was facing 8 rounds of chemotherapy and radiotherapy all over Christmas. I didn't think I could cope with it, but then I fought so hard just to stay alive, I have to cope." Thankfully, Alexi did cope, and she is working her way back to good health, inspired by her son, now a lively 4-year-old. Alexi has always been a keen baker and has started making cakes for special occasions for family and friends now too. Alexi knows just how important research is to create new tests and treatment, so she's encouraging people to get involved and bake some life-saving dough with the Great Stand Up to Cancer Bake Off. The donation page will be in the description box below. Any little helps and will be greatly appreciated to help with cancer research. Thank you. So we're now back, but I am now the baker. Got the apron on, my hair's up because I don't really want my hair all in this. So obviously the first step, as before, I've greased the tin and put the parchment paper on. Well, not parchment paper, but you know what I mean. 4 large eggs into my bowl, as that is the first step.
Will she drop shell in like I did? You're watching it live.
The first one was a success, so that's good. Number 2, 3, 4, no shell.
Okay.
I now need to measure my caster sugar. I'm obviously not going to read through the recipe to you guys as much as you obviously have just seen my mum sort of read through it and cook it all. This would be more just sort of showing my steps and stuff like that. It's my time for my arm to 8. I'm going to move these eggs first actually, because I have a feeling that would not be a good idea.
We'll be doing scrambled eggs, everybody.
Yeah. Okay, I like to always, when it's stuff like this, break the eggs first. I don't know if that actually, like the yolks I mean, I don't know if that really helps at all, but I feel like it makes it a little bit easier because everything's already broken. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Fair enough.
So again, I'm going to be mixing this until thick, light and frothy, and these are trailed when whisked. To be honest, I've never really done this type of thing before with eggs and caster sugar, or I haven't in a long while.
Can I ask another question, Georgina, while you're mixing?
Perfect time.
Perfect timing, because it does take a little while and it's just good to take your time. Yeah. So we've got to say, Georgina said she's asked her followers for questions, and we've answered a few already. So I'm just reading them because obviously I haven't seen these, so I'm just seeing which one she's asked. How long have you been baking?
Probably since I was a kid, and also I'm 21 now, so yeah, at least probably 15 years, I would say.
And like I say, I think like all of us, hopefully that we all bake from sort of knee high, don't we? We help mum or nan or auntie or whoever, sister, bake, or even dad. I must say, does not forget the men in our lives who are
the good bakers.
So What do you enjoy most about baking?
I think for me, it's actually like doing this recipe. I like to try making new recipes and stuff like that, and like that was why I was so up for this, because I was like, no matter what recipe wins, when out of the ones that our followers picked, I had never really baked any of them.
No.
So I was like, I like quite a good challenge, just seeing all the sides of baking, and it's actually like there's so much to baking that I feel like you just can't explore it all.
No.
But that's probably it for me, like just exploring all the types of baking.
Oh, I think it's challenging yourself, isn't it, when you're doing something new and a little bit like, ooh. And we both said when the three, so we have Victoria sandwich, Swiss roll and a Battenberg. And we both sort of said, oh, we hope they either the Swiss roll or the Battenberg win, because we've both done Victoria sandwiches. Yeah. And I think there wouldn't have been such a challenge.
It would have been so much of a technical challenge.
So when this came out as the winner, we were really pleased.
We were very happy.
Because we were like, we've never done it. We did try and pick two things we've never done before, and then something that everybody knows, a Victoria sandwich. So we were really chuffed when this came up. What is your favourite thing to bake?
Oh, I really don't know. So like I said earlier, I'm definitely more of a cake baker than anything. I kind of like, probably like brownies or cupcakes, small things I quite like baking, because they're quite easy but they're also quite fun to do.
Earlier I liked pastry, so like jam tarts, mince pies, or a savoury pie with a pastry on it. I enjoy doing pastry because I've got nice cold hands, and pastry.
Same.
Cold hands is really good, so it doesn't really melt. But to be honest, I don't mind doing anything though.
That's what I was about to say. Like if someone gave me a recipe and said, would you like to try and bake this? I'd be like, yeah, why not?
I think we're both very much recipe-based people.
Yeah, definitely.
Not very good at if someone gave me 5 ingredients and make something, I'm like, oh my god, I'll need to Google. But if you give me a recipe, I'm happy to give it a go.
Agreed.
How are we getting on? It's quite hard work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. See,
like
she was smiling behind the camera when my arm was aching.
The problem is I also don't really know, because I've never really done this type of thing before. I really don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know if it can get thicker than this or what.
The fun bit, you know, when people go, oh, she's going second. Regina's having the same things going through her head that I did. This is how it's meant to be. Is it meant to be paler than this? Is it meant to be thicker than this?
Yeah, exactly.
So have you had any cooking disasters?
Oh.
Just one off the top of my head there, guys.
I actually have. It was the classic. I feel like everyone who's ever done baking has probably done this at some point.
Tell us all.
So, you know, like putting icing on cakes.
Yes.
And you've not let the cake cool enough.
Yes.
And the icing's just gone everywhere.
It just melts into this.
I remember that happening when I was a kid. I like took the cupcakes out the oven, and then I instantly put the icing on because I didn't read the recipe. And it then was melting. I was like, why is this melting? Why is the icing coming off? And then I read it and it said you're meant to leave it to cool, and I was like, and it looked, and they tasted lovely, but they were very, very messy.
Yeah. And I remember making some scones when I was about 10, 11, something like that, and misread the recipe, like for the ingredients. So the flour, for argument's sake, say it said 100 grams. I don't know what I was thinking. I put 200 grams in, and there I am mixing, and it looked really floury, and I add a little bit more milk and what. Anyway, they were like the dense. They could hold a door open. They weren't good. And I remember my mum was still alive then. I remember my mum, like, bless her, like mums do, going, well, it's not bad. Not bad.
It tastes amazing.
Just you know, perhaps next time, you know. Bless her. But they were dire. So I do remember that.
I feel like those are two mistakes. If you're really into baking, those are two things. Either using too much of something or not letting things cool. I feel like everyone's probably experienced in baking.
And I think you probably agree. When you come into baking, like cakes and stuff, you really do have to have 100 grams of or 100. You know, you can't go.
You can't just wing it.
It's 110, 120. I mean, I know I went over a few, but it literally was like 2 grams, and you know, I felt that was fine. But yeah, you really do have to follow the recipe.
And if it says to cool for like an hour, you leave it for an hour.
You know, yeah. And that's like I said on the end of that recipe, it doesn't say how long to cool.
No, it doesn't.
And it's like, okay, how long? Just looking over her shoulder, without trying to be too mummy, and going,
you've done this wrong.
What did she say?
I actually think mine looks a bit thicker than yours.
I
think it looks a bit frothy. Let me try and show you.
Yeah, it's quite. Oh yeah.
Kind of.
Oh.
It looks a little bit, I guess, foamier.
Yes.
And frothier, it says on the recipe, than my mum's did.
Yeah. And this is when it's a real judgment. It's so difficult.
So, and these are trail, which it does too, as you can very clearly see.
Yeah.
So I think I'm actually really happy with that. And my arm will be thanking me because my arm feels as numb as ever.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm now going to divide the mixture into 2 bowls. I am going to do a similar sort of way to my mum because I feel like with liquids you can guess a little bit easier what is half and half.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and I think my guessing was when I put it in the piping bag, they were very similar.
Yeah.
The amounts.
And you can always just do it like in little stages if you were guessing.
Exactly. I mean, the only big problem is you've got one bigger bowl, one little bowl.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to whisk this because
Ooh.
the one that I just poured the metal bowl into a smaller one, and I've noticed it's not as frothy anymore. So I want to see if I can try and mix it a bit and make it more frothy.
So you've got less liquid to try and whisk. That I like that idea. It didn't even cross my mind.
Well, I just thought it now when my whisk was. I was like, it looked less frothy because obviously all the froth has gone into the bowl I poured into. So I want to see if I can whisk it a bit more and get the froth and the trail back. I just do think there's a lot more in this one than that one.
Oh, that's giving you a good idea, isn't it?
Which is fine because I probably actually would do more orange than black. I think my idea's working. I think I might be on something.
Yeah.
It is getting a bit frothier.
Damn it.
It doesn't say in the recipe to do it, but I was just thinking, ooh, all the froth has gone into the other bowl and it's not as frothy anymore. So a little bit heavier with the food colouring because I think that might be a good idea. The metal bowl is orange. Ooh, that's a nice orange.
That's very vibrant orange.
I'm actually really happy with that.
That's a good, strong colour.
I did put quite a lot of orange in. Like I say, neither of us have used this before. I would recommend though. I feel like it's a lot easier than normal food colouring.
Yeah.
And it gives, I think it gives a nicer colour.
True colour, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm now going to do the same in the other bowl with the black.
Yeah, I thought I was a bit disappointed with I think mine it's definitely grey.
Yeah.
Even though I thought, oh, I'd added more, and plus Georgina hasn't got quite so much mixture for her black.
No.
So that will be good.
Yeah, I've purposely done that because I wanted more orange than black because orange I want to be the main part of the sponge and then the black being the stripes. So that's why I've done it like that. Wow, that is black.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, guys, if you use these, more is better.
Yeah. If you want nice strong.
If you want strong colours.
Yeah, that's nice.
That is really. That's like black. I'm
black.
really happy with that.
Happy with those colours. Definitely better than mine.
I think I'm just gonna put, because I think I put a bit more black in that one. So I'm just gonna put a little drop of orange just in this one, just to see if I can brighten it a little bit more. If not, I'm happy with it. Very happy with that. Let me show you guys. So this one will probably be easier to see in the bowl because it's clear, but it's like a true black. Whereas like my mum's, as she said, looked a bit grey and she was very unsure. I've just kind of taken the risk and added a lot more, which I think worked out in my case.
Definitely, that's a lovely black.
Yeah, and a lovely orange as well.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with them. So obviously I just weighed my flour and I'm now going to stir half of it into one, half it into the other. My mum like wings this and guessed it with like powdered stuff. I don't like to do that, so I'm actually going to weigh it. Yeah, I don't mind winging it with liquids because I feel like you can kind of guess what you want, but with powdered stuff I don't. I've just measured 50 grams of the flour in this and the remaining is in the other one. Pour this into the orange. I nearly dropped the tub into it. That would have been good. And I'm now going to fold in using a large metal spoon or rubber spatula. And I'm going to use a spatula as well because I think it's easier to fold things with this than a spoon.
Yeah.
So
I was really pleased with how that worked.
Fold. Never really, I don't think I've ever done anything with folding. So, or if I have, it's been a very, very long time. So, just kind of guessing what I'm supposed to be doing. As long as it's all mixed together, I think that's the main thing. You can tell I don't know what I'm doing because this is very lumpy. Like I said, I don't think I've ever folded anything in my life, in baking terms anyway. Because I don't know what I'm doing.
It's so difficult, guys, if you're at home thinking, oh, you know.
If you want to support either of us personally as well.
Yeah, we're always loving to see followers. We both post up regularly on Instagram in particular.
And we both do completely different things as well, don't we?
Absolutely. Mine's more health and well-being and just
family and life.
Family and life. Whereas Georgina's is more...
Mine's more like makeup, beauty, skincare and fashion. We both talk about lifestyle stuff. That's probably the thing we have in common.
Yeah.
But like I say, my mum's more healthy lifestyle, healthy eating, good choices.
Yeah.
Mine's more makeup, beauty, skincare and nails.
But I think we both like to be very positive on our pages.
We both try to be as positive as we can be for people.
Because we know how difficult life can be out there, so particularly at these times.
And we've both gone through our hard times ourselves, so we can appreciate what everybody else has gone through.
Yeah. We're always there for you guys if you ever
drop
us a DM.
Yeah.
You know, we'll always try and help and support.
I always love doing that, to be honest.
Definitely. So I think it's the nice thing about social media.
Yeah.
I think people diss it a lot, but I think you can draw
it's actually a really great platform to learn and to support and help people.
Yeah,
I think.
definitely. I agree. Ignore the trolls, just block.
Ignore. Social media is really easy now where you can block people or remove them or whatever.
Yeah, so it's mixing nicely now.
It is, but I'm still not happy with it because it's very lumpy.
I'm not going to offer any advice, everybody.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
No, nor did I.
Help. Send help.
Oh dear. She's got to edit this before it goes up, so you can put in the comments.
Yeah.
Put in the comments what you know, where you think we've, you know, for next time.
Yeah, any tips and tricks, you know, for any baking. Because like I say, we both love baking. We both learn. I think it'd actually be nice to learn from other people.
Exactly.
And other people's experiences.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, any tips and tricks about anything to do with baking, even if it's related to this recipe or not.
No.
Leave them in the comments.
Yeah.
We can have a nice chat in the comments, can't we?
We can.
We can all learn things.
We can.
And hopefully, I hope Stand Up to Can to do something like this again next year, so we could hopefully then do it again next year.
I'd be up for that.
Because I would.
This is fun.
Amazing.
And if any of you want to do it, just give it a go.
Yeah.
You know, like how you don't need to have 2 kitchens and everything. Like we've just done it one at a time.
Yeah.
We both agreed beforehand how it would work.
Yeah, we've made it as fair as
we
possible.
could.
Like I said, we flipped a coin at the start to see who was going to go first and stuff like that.
You know, and I'm, you know, Georgina didn't say to me, "Oh, Mum, what do you think of trying that way?" And I'm not going to say to Georgina, and you know, and
obviously there's already some things I've done differently that you did, so
straight away, and because you have your own thoughts.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's a good bonding experience.
Yeah, agreed.
On the Sign Up to Bake Off, they were saying you could even do it via Zoom.
Yes.
So if you've got someone you think, well, I don't live in the same town or in the same place as my sister or whatever, you could do a Zoom one.
Mm-hmm. They even offered like a bake sale as well. You could raise money that way.
You know, so you could do a little Zoom bake off with your sister who may live in South Africa.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
There's
don't even have to be in the same country.
There's nothing to stop you. Give it a go. Have a laugh.
Definitely. And it's all for an amazing cause. At the end of the day, it's all going to an amazing but important cause that will help save a lot of people's lives.
Definitely.
I'm actually quite happy with that now.
That has come together nicely.
I think it took me a little bit longer because I don't really know what I'm doing. So there was obviously you guys didn't see, but there was a lot of lumps because I think I've just been kind of mixing it probably more than folding it, but it's worked.
It's worked. There are
and
now.
there is now no lumps.
No lumps.
And I'm actually, mine definitely looks a little bit, I don't know if it's because this mixture has more liquid in it. It looks thicker than yours.
Yes.
I don't know if that was because I re-frothed it when you didn't, or like I say, because it's got a bit more liquid, or what. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But it definitely looks a little bit more thicker than my mum's did.
Looks good, I must say. It
that.
does look a bit thicker, and the colour is more vibrant.
Yes. So like I say, if you do use those, probably more is better.
Yeah. Be brave.
Yeah, just
I wasn't brave enough. I was like, oh no, that'll do.
No, see, I was like, no, I'm gonna pour as much as I can. I'd rather more than less, to be honest. Okay. I'm now going to do the same with the black, but I'm not going to show you it because there's nothing really much to see anyway. So now is the fun part. We're back to the disposable bag stage, and I actually have a little bit of idea. I've only ever tried to pipe once, and it was a bit of a mess, and it did not work properly. But one tip I remember after I like sort of research how you properly pipe is to actually like open the piping bag and sort of seal it around a bowl or like a container, so you can easily spoon the mixture in it without it being
sneaky
a mess. And I've always remembered that ever since I've piped, but I can't even open the bag, so that's not helpful. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I've got, this is what we measured our flour and sugar in. I'm going to wrap the disposable bag around it, as long as it's roughly around as much as possible. So it's kind of like that, and then all the mixture will go straight to the bottom, obviously, and it hopefully makes a little less mess. We can hope. So I'm now going to spoon the orange into this piping bag. And funnily enough, when I was just folding the flour into the black one, it took me like 2 seconds to do it. My orange is definitely liquidier, but obviously I didn't put half and half of the liquid. I did more like probably sort of 60-40, but I wanted more orange than black. This orange one's going to be fun to pipe, I already know.
Yeah, it just runs out.
Yeah, I kind of wish I put a little bit more flour in this now, but oh well. That might have helped, the extra flour, because it is quite runny. Now, so yeah, I think it was definitely a lot messier, because like, I mean, to be honest, when my mum did it, there wasn't much like on the surface really.
She's being very kind. It was everywhere.
It wasn't that bad, but I do think that was a good tip.
I think that's a really good tip.
To like secure it around a bowl or a container. Yeah. This probably wasn't the best one because it didn't get around all the corners, but like there's like a drop on the surface, and the actual bag itself is not so messy, which will help for me to tie it. So I'm using a hairband to tie it.
They are clean and new.
They are.
And it actually doesn't touch the food.
No, it doesn't. So that was the only thing we really had. So I'm going to make this as tight as I possibly can. And I just flipped that all on my head, I think. So if you can see orange on me, I don't think you can. That's fine. So that is my orange, which I think has actually gone pretty well. It's just very runny. I have a feeling that's going to go everywhere. Okay, I'm now just going to do the same with the black, but I'm actually going to try it on this one. I don't know if this can be like long enough, but it should be like a good size. I don't know. We can try, can't we? I have a feeling this one might be easy to pipe because the black is a lot thicker. I just realised I probably shouldn't have done 50 grams of flour in each because there was a lot more liquid in that.
I did think that, but I thought, no, I can't say. The mum in me was like, Virginia, you need to do it 60-40 or something.
Yeah, I just realised that. Because obviously the black is a lot thicker than the orange, so obviously I should have, but hey, we live and we learn.
Yeah. I think the tip, like
for next time,
would reduce.
If you do more of one liquid, so like if you've done more orange like I have, put more flour in the orange.
I think, and also if you've got an electric whisk, especially for the cake mixture, use it.
Yes.
But actually I think it's made it good, very much fairer for both of us.
Yeah, so I think the black is a very good consistency.
Yeah.
I think this is what it's meant to, it's like very thick. And I think that is what it's meant to look like.
It disposable piping bags. First time I've ever used them. Both I was
Really
very
good.
impressed with them. Really easy to use.
Yeah, and obviously on this recipe you don't need any nozzles or anything like that,
no.
but you can get those off Amazon.
They did have them as a add-on, as it were, but obviously I knew we didn't need them.
Yeah, we just needed the bags.
So,
But it's good, we've always got them now, so if you
Yes.
ever want to do some piping again.
yeah, we've got 50.
Yeah.
So the smallest they did. I thought that was fine. They're never going to go out the way.
No, especially as we both like baking.
Yeah.
And is the black,
Ooh.
which, yeah, you can definitely see I've not got so much in there. Obviously you can't see the thickness of it, but cool. I've got my other hairband. So that is my black, very cute and small. And my orange, which I feel like I can see in person is a lot liquider. A lot more liquider?
A lot more liquid.
A lot more liquid. Good grammar. But yeah, that is them. I'm actually really happy with that. So yeah, that tip definitely works. Put it around like a bowl or like a jug or
really good
something
tip.
to make a little bit less mess. I think I'm actually going to start with the black just because it's thicker. I think it might be, I don't know. I'm winging this, guys. Let's start with this.
Oh yes. See that's better than mine, because that's giving her stripes, and I can see why she's done that, because that's going to create a dam effect for the orange. At this point I knew I'd done it all wrong and it was going everywhere, but I loved it. Oh, it's brilliant. Oh wow, love it.
And I think actually helping then, I don't know if that's a good tip or not, but I used my finger to try and block the icing so it wouldn't
So
drag.
you were more controlling. Yeah. No, well, see, I just panicked because it was going
Which I
everywhere.
have a feeling I'm now going to be doing with the orange.
Oh, see ya. Bless her. She's just wiping her hands because it is a bit messy.
So
this
I
stage.
just used my finger. I don't know if you really saw, but I used my finger to like block the cake mixture, which I think was a good idea because none of it, apart from there, none of it's really connected.
That is
it looks
good
as
stripes.
good as stripes can be.
Yeah, whereas mine was not stripes. But that is good.
Okay, now this one I know is going to be a mess.
And this is when we go, well,
Hide your eyes.
yeah.
Don't look.
We're praying for you, Georgina. Ah, yeah, but it's working because she's got the black that's thicker. And is she going to run out of the orange? This is the thing.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, cool.
Because I've still got enough black,
Ah.
and I have more orange liquid.
That's cool because I can't quite see because I'm recording Georgina at the moment, so obviously I'm keeping an eye on the recording. That looks amazing.
Just need a little bit more here.
Yeah. It's quite difficult to get it to the edges
Yes.
because it's quite a light mixture.
Yeah, and I don't think that actually turned out as bad as I thought. I thought it was going to do the exact
It's
same
just,
as yours.
Yeah, that is, look, there are stripes.
I'm actually really happy
That
with
is
that.
amazing.
Wow, I'm so happy. Oh wow, look at the...
Oh, wow, that's puffed up.
Is it meant to look like that?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely stripy.
Yeah, smells delicious.
I think you need to add even more black.
Yeah,
Because
because
that is
it's
gone.
gone
I mean,
grey,
mine's a darker grey,
yeah.
but you must have to add tons of black to get it pure. But I'm really happy with that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very spongy, which
Yeah.
is what it says. I don't know what I'm doing.
Be brave. This is horrible, this bit. Yay! We flipped it.
Okay, peel off the lining paper. Go slow and steady.
This is a nervy rack because you're like, please don't sponge come off with the paper.
A little bit has, not much.
No, I had a little bit, didn't we? Yeah. That
I
looks
think it's because my black was thicker.
thicker.
Because that's the only part that's come off.
Yeah, but that's good. That's not much.
Not bad.
That's good.
That looks really good.
Oh, no, this is like, oh, it's nervy. Well done.
Just gotta be confident.
Yeah,
Just do it.
I was too nervous, but it worked.
That is not too bad.
No, because that'll be the inside,
Yes.
and the other side, which you preferred, will be the outside.
We're on a winning streak. I'm actually really happy with this. I don't think for me never doing this before, I'm
I think
well
it's lovely.
chuffed.
Really,
So,
really good.
I'm going to set this aside to cool, and because it is very hot. Mine's definitely thicker than yours, not very thick. Just poured 200ml of double cream into this, and now you're going to pour it into this bowl exactly like my mum did. And we just realised, which I didn't even realise until my mum was just putting it away, I didn't actually sieve my flour when you put the flour into it after you've done the colour, like the colouring. You meant to sieve it. I didn't do that because I honestly like skipped past it in my head.
Oh, I think that's probably why it was lumpy.
Yeah.
But actually, Georgina just took her time and
Yes.
worked with it anyway.
Yeah.
And I think you've got a thicker consistency
And
because you
still
kept stirring. So
Yeah. I'm now going to be mixing some cream. This didn't take so long when you did it.
no, it was because it's come out. It's been in the fridge, and I did buy extra double
Yeah.
thick cream because I knew we were probably going to be whisking, and I thought I want to save us a bit of
Yeah,
our
so
mate.
that's a tip for you. Don't think I've ever, because most of the because I've never really done like cream. I know I have, but not like with this.
No, not with not with
No.
fresh cream.
So again, I've never really just like whisked cream.
No. Definitely, Georgina's has got stripes,
Yes.
whereas mine didn't. Mine had swirls. But the colour is much more vibrant and much more like the colours in the picture.
Yeah, I do have to say though, if you were putting black, you knew enough to put a whole thing in.
Tubing, we wouldn't have had enough.
No, because that, like mine, like from here it looks kind of black,
But when you close
but when you're close up it looks more like a dark grey. But you know, you live and you learn.
Yeah.
My arm is already aching.
Keep going, Georgina. You can do this.
And if you can hear Luna, just ignore.
Ignore her. She thinks she's going to be getting something to
for the people who don't know, Luna is our dog.
Yeah. A very mad Labrador.
Indeed. But the sweetheart.
Very, very kind.
I think my arm's still dead from earlier.
Maybe go make yourself a cup of tea or...
I did say I have a feeling this video is going to be long.
Bless her, Georgina. I know what Georgina. I won't see her now for the rest of today.
I'm going to be in an editing cave.
She'll be editing.
Editing this video
yeah.
and pictures.
I'll just be posting snacks through her door to keep her going. And cups of tea.
Yeah. Or more like cold drinks.
Cold drinks.
It is warm now.
Warm.
Luckily we started this quite early. It's now like
1:45ish.
1:15. We started this about sort of 11:15. And it definitely wasn't so bad as like when you were cooking.
No.
But you can definitely tell it's got warmer.
We've got bubbles now, guys. We've got bubbles.
I can't feel my arm though. I can't whisk with this hand.
No. And after you've been whisking before, your arm is aching. But the thing is with cream, it goes from being quite runny to thick within a couple of whisks. So you think, oh, I'm never going to do it. But you do.
All for a good cause.
Yeah.
I think my arm aches more now than it did earlier.
She wanted to build some muscle. Oh yeah, it's getting there.
It doesn't feel like it.
I'm trying to be encouraging.
Being a very supportive mum.
Yeah, absolutely. A good thing about the Stand Up to Cancer charity, it looks at all cancers.
Yeah,
exactly. So
it's not just one type of cancer.
Young, old, rich or poor. But yeah, please go and have a look. Go and show them some love.
Yeah, and I know a good place if you want to know some more like personal stories. On their Instagram page they've got some, but their YouTube channel has like a lot of videos of people's stories. Again, some celebrities, some normal people, because obviously there has been a few celebrities recently that have passed of different forms of cancers.
Yeah.
Some that I know and some that you know. Well, not personally obviously, but through social media and things. But like I say, cancer research doesn't help just the celebrities, it helps anybody that is suffering with any form of cancer.
And I think I was on the the Great British Bake Off, who do stand up to cancer as well, obviously. I think now, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Sorry, that's the dog. 1 in 4 people.
I thought it was 1 in 2.
Oh, perhaps it is. Sorry, it was 1 in 4. It's 1 in 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's quite so.
Which is scary.
There's me and Georgina standing here. One of us
is going to get cancer,
cancer
at some point in our lives. So if you're, which is quite scary. So if you're watching this with someone, more than likely one of you is going to get some form of cancer in your life.
So get on there. And it doesn't have to be, I know at the moment none of us have got a lot of money. Just £1. Just donate £1.
Yeah.
If we all donated £1, they'd be, you know, fantastic.
Be more than grateful.
Yeah. So don't feel you've got to do a lot.
No.
At the moment we've got donations being given to us. Is it about £40 in total here and there? I've had.
I'm not 100% sure really.
But if that's in all we make, that's great.
Yeah, £40 more than they had.
You know, oh, it's this cream is now thickening up.
Yes, I'm actually quite happy with it now. Like you say, as soon as it sort of gets
goes, you know, you go right. Oh yes, that's creamy.
That's very thick. Oh, trying to get the cream out of the whisk. My arm is now thanking me. I did. I'm not going to pour it over my head.
It's
not a meringue. I'm just asking for cream to drop on my head.
That's perhaps next Bake Off.
Maybe.
A meringue.
Yeah, a meringue. I don't think I've ever made a meringue.
I have, but it's a long time ago. Only one sort of meringue, because it's about 3 different sorts anyway.
Maybe a meringue.
Oh God, but I've never put it over my head.
No, because we definitely would have to do that. If we were doing meringue, you'd have to put it over your head.
And it would have to use a whisk, like a proper electric
yes,
whisk.
because our arms would already be dying.
Oh dear.
So now we're on the fun part. So like my mum said earlier, this recipe doesn't say leave to cool for this long. So I'm now going to have the fun part of judging if this is cool enough, which I can already tell from first instance it is not. Because the bottom of it is still quite warm, especially in the middle, which I do think it's because mine is a little bit thicker, the mixture, which is fine. I'm now going to try and think of how long I'm going to wait for this. I think I'm going to leave it for like 2-3 minutes, because I don't want it to be like stone cold, but I don't obviously want it to be boiling hot where the cream will just fall off it. But I am going to trim the edges because I know I'm only trimming edges. It can cool while I'm doing that. I'm going to trim the edges, which mine aren't too bad. Some of it actually came off when I was taking it out the tin. So it's not too bad. I'm quite a perfectionist as well.
Yeah.
I definitely admit, like...
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm more of a perfectionist, so I'd rather it be very neat as much as I can. I'm happy with that. Yeah, that is probably as even as I'm gonna get it. I don't know why you have to score this thing. Let me know. Do you know why you have to score it?
I think it's to help that first turn.
Yeah.
But for me, it made no difference. Well, I didn't think it made any difference, but then obviously I had scored it. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure why you do it.
I'm gonna go here, I think, which is definitely a little bit more less than you. So
Your bake, Georgina.
Yeah.
You go for it, my lovely.
That was so satisfying. And I don't know if that's also deep enough. Again, like scoring to me, like you just do a thin line.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
So I'm happy with that. It's because obviously you don't want to cut it all the way through and then just chop off a bit.
No.
I think I just realised, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, do you score it? Because obviously you saw when my mum did it earlier that some of the mixture came out. Do you score it so you don't put the mixture, like you stop at that line? I think it's so that the mixture doesn't come out and it then sticks. Which is how I'm gonna do it. You went over it.
I did. I just did
but
the whole lot.
I'm literally just gonna go up to the score.
It'd be interesting to see because there's 2 different techniques. So
yeah.
we don't know.
It literally just clicked in my head. I was like, I think that's why, so that all the mixture doesn't just pour out. But let us know in the comments. So I'm now just gonna go up to like the line, which is here, and sort of spread as much as evenly as possible of jam. obviously, like we said, the same jam because we haven't cooked our own jam.
We've had a real laugh doing this.
We have. It's been challenging enough without having to
definitely
create your own jam.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Set your own challenges.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it so you can enjoy it.
Exactly.
And if you both agree, that's the fun bit.
Yeah, and it's as even and as fair as it can.
Yeah.
And that is the main thing.
It's funny, isn't it? I'm sure you're noticing the different techniques for this part even.
Yeah, because obviously that's the thing. Me and my mum have completely different knowledges on baking. We've done different things and baked different things. So yeah, it's actually quite interesting to see our different techniques kind of come out as we're baking.
So Georgina's gone for more jam than I did.
I did.
Which, that's fine, you know. So I can see that she's gone for a real nice jammy consistency.
Yes. And I'm quite happy that that is like as even as it can be.
Mine's been, if you wonder what's happened in mine, mine's in the fridge.
Yes.
So what we'll do with Georgina's, we've got exactly the same plate. We'll pop hers in the fridge while we tidy up.
Yeah.
So that they do both get chilled, so they're of a similar temperature, I suppose, for when Paul comes down and tastes them.
Judges them.
So he's going to come and judge in here. We'll put, I say, we've got exactly the same plates.
Yeah.
We're just going to put 1 and 2 on there.
Now I'm going to be doing the cream. Which you used the spatula, didn't you? I think.
No, I used the back of the spoon.
Oh, did you?
I think.
I thought you used the spatula.
I may have done.
I can't remember.
No, I used the spoon because there was a lot left on it. But I used a bigger spoon.
Yes.
I used one of the bigger spoons.
See, I like smaller spoons because I like to sort of work in
More
stages.
Control for you? Yeah.
And like I say, because I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah. And if you notice, Georgina, I went right up to the edges, and Georgina is going a little way from the edge.
Yes. Again, I was thinking it was a good idea so that all the mixture just didn't
pop
pour out.
Luckily for me, it did pop out too much. It did a little bit.
It wasn't too bad actually.
But it looked all right.
And it looks. I think it looked like a Swiss roll. Yeah.
There's definitely a roll in there.
Yes.
Which was, which I was really pleased with. So, that's what it's all about.
I feel like I've spread mine out a little bit more than yours.
Yes,
as well.
I've got mine quite thick.
Yes.
Because I thought, there's a lot of cream here.
See, mine, there's not as much cream. I haven't got as much cream because I've nearly used up all mine.
Oh, there you are. But then I think yours is bigger than mine.
Yes, it just looks
slightly, because I didn't get it very well to the edges.
No.
So all these little things make a difference.
Like I say in the comments, who do you think? Now both of us have pretty much done it.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win that trophy?
Yeah. Who's going to? Because obviously for Paul it will be how it looks, and then obviously for him how it tastes as well.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the flavour, as Paul Hollywood would say.
And we're not just calling him Paul after Paul Hollywood. No. He is actually called Paul. Because Paul is quite a common name.
Yes, that is very good.
So now is the fun part. The part that I think is going to mess the most up with me.
Good luck, Georgina.
So obviously it says to roll it from the end you cut the line, the scored end. I'm actually terrified to roll this. This is the part I'm most scared about for some reason.
It is, because all your hard work.
Yeah, and I'm happy with it.
And I was happy with mine. I know it's not perfect, but I was happy with mine. And I think, there we go. Let me come round here. Oh yes, it's rolling. There, you can see it. There's the Swiss roll in there.
It's still definitely something's definitely gonna come out.
Yes, but that's fine. She's got a lot more rolls in hers than I have. It's messy.
That's probably the best
one. That is looking fantastic.
I'm really happy with that.
Look at that.
And obviously I have made a little bit less mess than you did.
Yes,
I think.
Mine blows.
So I do think maybe that's because I didn't go over the line.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with that.
You
can definitely tell. The only thing you can tell is like I've not gone to the edges.
But you can see the stripes.
Yeah. More in the Swiss roll.
Yeah, that's what mine was like.
Yeah.
And I just put a squished on cream.
Which I'm not going to do because I think it looks quite good.
Yeah, I like that. Looks good.
I'm really happy with that. So that is both of us done. Light this up, clean up a little bit, and then we're going to get our judge to come and rate this and pick who the final winner will be.
See who's going to win the trophy.
Let's go.
Contestant number 1, contestant number 2. Okay, so it all goes on look and obviously most importantly as well as the taste.
So from first impressions, which do you think looks good?
Number 1 looks the best.
Okay.
It's plumper. Yeah. Slightly lighter surfacing there. But number 2 has got a nice little crisp edge to it, which might add to the flavour. Number 1 has got more cream filling than number 2.
The most important, as Paul Hollywood says, it's all on the taste, that flavour.
For everyone that's wondering, this is number 1.
Yeah, this one here. And Paul's just cutting number 2 at the moment. Ooh, that's very Swiss rolly as well.
A better fill. Now the number 1's sponge is looks a lot more airy than number 2's.
Okay.
Tasting number 1.
Tasting number 1. He's very hungry, guys, because he's not had any breakfast or any lunch.
We took control of the kitchen all day.
He's been hidden upstairs.
Yes, so Paul has no idea who's baked what.
He absolutely has no idea. What do you think? Texture?
Firm but spongy.
Flavour?
Yeah, the sponge has got a good flavour to it.
And the cream to jam sponge ratio?
Not a bad ratio because you can taste both the cream and the jam.
Well, it must be. He's having a second mouthful just to be sure in his own mind. Look at that sponge.
Number 2 is slightly more biscuity than it is spongy.
Ooh. Is that offensive or is that nice?
It's not offensive.
Probably not offensive, it's the wrong word, guys. Sorry about that, but it's a nice, still a nice texture, but different.
A lot sweeter
Oh, okay.
than number 1.
And then the jam to cream to
Tasting the
sponge
centre piece.
ratio. Yeah, that's fine. Is it tricky?
Could do with slightly more jam. Just a
Ooh.
little bit, not much.
Okay. You would enjoy it, both of them, with a cup of tea.
Yeah,
You wouldn't be-
get rid of them.
You're happy, you can make your final decision.
And tell us why. Tell us why, and then tell us who.
Yes.
Like number 1 or number 2, if you know what I mean. Why? What just edged it for you? Yes, guys. He has to live with both of us. Remember.
Well, the one that's won, it's the balance of flavours.
Okay.
It's not too sweet. All round bake.
Okay. Which number is your winner?
Number 1 is the winner. Number 2,
Yeah.
it's tasty, but it is slightly overly sweet.
Oh. But you wanted more jam.
Slightly more jam, but the pastry itself is actually, or the
Sweet.
sponge itself is sweet.
Interesting.
Which is why it's developed that crisp, I think, on the...
Interesting. Because as I say, it's exactly the same, but just perhaps it's the mixing process.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm very, very
Yeah, we
happy.
got this trophy off Amazon actually.
But if Baff's obviously, Baffy is his nickname, sorry, is going in for seconds. So,
Oh, I've just got to finish off.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's only rude.
but we must say, I've had so much fun. When I went
Oh,
upstairs and I just said, "You come down now." So much fun doing this, haven't we?
Definitely do
Really,
it again.
really, definitely do it again. It's just fun. And to be honest, who wins, it doesn't matter because they both look amazing.
They both have their good parts
Yeah.
and their bad parts.
I love the Swiss roll bit on Georgina's. Looks like,
See, yours to me looks more like a Swiss roll.
yeah, but I think they're brilliant.
Yeah.
How interesting. Same
And-
recipe.
And all for a very good cause at the end of the day.
Fantastic cause. Get donating.
Yes. All the donation links will be in the description below if you would like to donate and follow Stand Up to Cancer and Cancer Research. Then all their links are in the description as well. thank you guys for watching this. I
Thank
hope you
you.
enjoyed. I think, like I say, I have a feeling this is probably going to be a little bit of a long video. Round 1 is obviously to my mum. Like I said, if we do this again next year, you know, obviously we'll bake something else. But yeah, a good time. Would highly recommend.
Definitely. Give it a go.
Give it a go. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed.
Take care, guys.
Bye.